Welcome back. In this video, we're going to focus on forward stance. This is the main stance that you need to learn as a white belt to get through your kata keep on one. Now what we're going to do today is we're just going to go up and back. We're not going to do any turns or anything like that. We'll get to that later. For right now, I want you to focus on the form of your stance itself. Now, put your feet together, and if you have squares like this, they're great as a template to help you remind you where to put your feet. If not, it's fine. It doesn't really matter all that much. Picture in your head two railroad tracks parallel to each other. They'll never come closer and they'll never go wider apart or the train will derail. So you want to keep your feet at that same distance, okay? Now, in a previous video, we worked on horse stance. This is horse stance here, okay? And you want your feet to be nice and wide, about as wide as your shoulders, maybe slightly wider, and your knees over your toes that way, okay? A forward stance has that same width, but staggered, okay? One leg is forward, one leg is back, but they're exactly the same width. So if you picture in your head those railroad tracks on the ground, you're here and here standing on the railroad tracks. If I move my foot in this way, now I'm on one railroad track and it's like I'm standing on a balance beam. Yeah, regardless of whether or not you're good at balancing, it's not a very good forward stance and you'll get knocked over pretty easily if somebody pushes you. So you want to keep your legs wide and step forward in that same width as if you didn't leave your foot from that railroad track, and this foot stays on the railroad track as well. Okay, so I want you to start with your feet together, and we're going to step, I will step my left forward, and you'll step your right forward so that we match each other, okay? We'll go nice and slow. We're just going to do this on one side and return, and then do the same on the other side just to practice stepping out that wide. It takes a little bit to get used to not turn your foot so much. So you're going to take your right foot, my left foot, step forward and into that deep, wide stance, okay? Make sure that both feet face forward. And then you want to bend your front knee, but not your back leg. Your back leg actually should stretch. If you turn your foot out this way, that relieves the tension on your calf and it relieves that stretch as well. So you're not accomplishing what you want to accomplish with this stance. You want it to be nice and straight and you want to feel it pulling on the calf, okay? Now, if it's pulling too much, you're probably too long and it makes you turn your foot this way. That's not good. You want to pull it in, turn these feet as wide as a horse stance, no wider. Also, don't go too long or too narrow. If you go too narrow, now it doesn't take any work at all, and I'm still not stretching. So you want to go to where you feel that stretch, whether that's really far out or in. It could be in more for you as well. Typically for a person, it's like a nice box. If you have a box on the ground, you go from the back corner, the back right corner, to the forward left corner, okay? So again, if you have these squares, if you have tiles or anything at home like that to practice on, this does help you as a template to remember where to put your feet. Okay, so let's start over from the beginning. We're here, and we're going to step towards that other corner. I don't want you to go too far. Practice it nice and slow. Step forward. Good. Make sure you're wide. Feet are straight. Now bend that front knee, but not your back leg. You should feel it stretch back here on your calf. Nice, straight posture. All right, return. Go ahead and use your other leg. I'm going to move over this way so that it's equal for you and you can see on the opposite side. All right, now I'm going to step my right leg. You'll step your left leg forward and into that opposite corner. Keep your feet straight, nice and wide. This is as wide as I want to be. So I'm going to go from here up. Okay. Lock this leg out. Make sure it's not bending. Don't let your foot turn. Keep it straight on that railroad track. Bend your front knee back straight. Okay. Return. Let's try again. Step. and bend. Keep everything facing forward. That's why it's called a forward stance. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to practice our downward block with the first step. And then we're going to practice C-stepping. And what that is when you're in a forward stance and you're stepping to the next stance, you step in the shape of a C on the ground. So I'm going to draw my back foot up, brush past my front leg, scoop it back out again until I'm wide enough that I'm on that other railroad track again, in the shape of a C. Okay? Let's try the other side once. So we're stepping here. Step this foot up and through. Okay? Now let's add that downward block, and then we're going to punch 3 times. I'm going to back up so that you can see everything. Follow along as best you can. Okay? I'm going to have you use your left leg to step first and your left arm to downward block. Left and left. Okay? And if you remember from the blocking exercises, you're going to touch down. Okay? And step forward, your left arm, downward block, forward stance. Go. Very good. Look at your stance, hips in, make sure everything looks good. You're going to C-step forward with your back leg and punch with your right arm. Step through, punch. Okay? Watch everything, make sure that everything's straight. Bend this knee, feel the stretch here. Try to do things by feel as much as you do by sight. Let's punch again. Good. Notice I don't punch until the moment my foot lands. You want that to happen at the same time. And we'll do one more. Okay. Step through, punch. Very good. Relax. Return to where you started from. Okay. Let's do that one more time. Stepping forward with your left leg, blocking with your left arm, my right side. Downward block. Forward stance. Go. 3 punches. 1, 2, and 3. Relax. Very good. Now, if you can do that, that will help you enormously in your katas. That is in the middle of the keep-ons. So you're going to do a left and a right, and then you're going to come down the middle. And when you do that same sequence. Downward block, punch, punch, punch. That's part of the keep-on katas. So practice this exercise, and that will help you learn those as well. Very good. Thank you.